Hello, my name is Ken Breniman. Welcome to my Kinder Garden yoga practices. I've also been known as the Mindful Immortal practitioner, but I'm here today to do an embodied practice around compersion. Compersion? Well, there is a New Year's theme song out there regarding what time of the year you're looking at this. Don't worry, it could be happening any time of the year. But compersion, it is the opposite of jealousy. And we have an instinct to compare and contrast. That is just how we primates are hardwired. However, we humans have this ability to practice the opposite, which is to feel softening or even an acceptance that, right, we may not always get what we want, but when we see someone else get what they want, how does that activate something in our hearts? So today's practice is a yoga practice with compersion as the intention. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to lie on back. And this is an instructional video where I'll demonstrate it. I'll be your top model, but I'll also encourage you to do what's comfortable for you. So if you prefer to be on a chair, sitting back in it, that's fine too. But lying down on the ground or on a bed or on a sofa where you've got some little space to move around is the best way to move into this practice. So the first thing you're going to do is make sure that your body is set up to be comfortable and warm. If you're in a chilly part of your day or your room is cold, go ahead and put a blanket over you too. We're just going to take that word and breathe into it. So you can even say the word compersion if you're newer to that word. And then you're exhaling and just say the same word, compersion. Okay? So just notice what it's like there. So this is a little different than Tonglen meditation, if you're familiar with that. And this is just, now you're going to start to outwardly notice something out there. I don't know, what is it? That person got a bigger gift than I did, or my coworker got a promotion I didn't, or I can't go somewhere that I'd like to go and I'm having FOMO. Even, right, someone just got engaged or was expecting, whatever that might be. If there's one thing there that you can identify, I want you to breathe into it. And notice it, notice it, notice it. And then exhale, it's a compersion. Try to stay focused on the same thing. Notice what you don't have and they do. And breathe out, compersion. We're going to add some physicality to this. Next time, notice what you're noticing and clench and squeeze the hands, curl the toes, maybe squint the eyes, shrug the shoulders, engage the core, and then exhale, compersion. Just 5 more times. Squeeze, engage any and all muscles. Stay in that, breathe in, notice what you're noticing, what they have you don't, and then compersion. Couple more times. Notice what's out there, what you're feeling about that. Squeeze, tense, clench, and exhale. Compersion. Try that 2 more times. Engage. You notice this is a thought experiment, a physical experiment. And when you're ready, compersion. One last time. Hold it, clench, squeeze, breathe in a little more air, and let it go, compersion. Go ahead and just notice what's there as you return to regular breathing. Notice where the muscles engaged and relaxed. Notice how your mind fluctuated between comparing and compersion, jealousy and joy. And that's just the opening sequence, but go ahead and wake up the body by rolling the wrists, twiddling the fingers, rolling the ankles, flexing the toes, eventually reaching the arms up over the head. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Belly button exposed. And then bring your arms down to the sides. If you've had your knees on a bolster or blanket, go ahead and step your feet there or on the ground. You're welcome to invite that bolster to roll away for now, and then step your feet on the ground. Okay. There's if you want to tune into Spotify before we do this next round, there's a wonderful folk song from, was that the 60s? But Joni Mitchell sung it over the generations. There's many versions of Both Sides Now. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk our feet a little wider. Just feel your little toes on the edge of a mat, or just wide enough so that you can feel the knees being able to kind of sway here. You can open your arms into a T or reach them out into a yay, a Y, and you're going to find your center. And your center is just a place of groundedness. Go ahead. Now, Joni Mitchell's song is titled Both Sides Now. You're going to rock the knees as you inhale. The knees are staying to center. Keep your shoulder blades on the ground. And exhale, just notice that there's two sides to this thought experiment. You're going to twist over to a side. I'm not going to say right or left here. You're going to inhale and come to center. And then you're going to exhale and off to the second side. Okay, so there's two sides to everything. There's FOMO, there's JOMO. There's fear of missing out. There's joy of missing out. There's this place of, I might get what I want someday, to, I don't have it now. So we're just going to let those both sides now. And if you were singing the song because you know that folk song, that timeless tune, right? Joni Mitchell sings of the clouds, of love, of life. And she always ends that punchline chorus as I really don't know much at all. So we're going to empower ourselves by being okay with the not knowing. And as you just rock your knees a couple more times, just take good care of that lower back. I think compersion is also an internal experience that I might be jealous of my younger self that used to be deeper in my twists or feel more vigor in my practice. I might be jealous of my older self that's retired and sitting back and just knitting or gardening. But right at this moment, I can look at both sides. I'm in this now moment, and there's bound to be ways that my mind will fluctuate from longing to learning. And even Choi wants to say, she knows what both sides now is all about. She'll look out and say, hey, squirrel, I'd like to be your friend, and bark viciously at them. But I think she's just trying to invite them down to her level. Hello. Yes, what would you say with both sides now? So we're going to finish up. And some people said to me, oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. You have 2 dogs. They came as a set. But I'm going to tell you, they are a lot of work. I wouldn't trade them for the world, but right, there was a time where I was deeply grieving the deceased dog and not knowing if I had the heart space to adopt and welcome in other dogs. But lo and behold, the time frame of missing, longing, and then learning to welcome in new ones. That's what my pet compersion is all about. I want you to bring your knees to center and invite those knees up to your chest. Right here, I want you to hug yourself in the present moment. And you decide, do you want to tuck your chin? And if you're in a chair, you might just roll your forehead towards the knees or thighs. And I want you just to say, in 3 breaths, compersion. Compersion. If it's a newer word to you, just say the last one, compersion. We're going to gently roll to a side. You choose it, right or left. And then come on up to seated. If you're already in a chair, we're just joining you. And you may then decide to sit upon a bolster. Good. And we're going to get this upright place be a place of internal contemplation. So this is another vigorous practice borrowed from a Kundalini tradition. And Say come. Okay. In Sanskrit, Satanam or Satnam is basically a greeting, but it's also relevant to the cycle of life. And some would practice the saying the syllables of that Satanama, but we're going to go Compersion, Compersion, Compersion. So, right. So you're going to take that and go Compersion, 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 right? Compersion, Compersion, Compersion. 5 more times. Compersion, 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 Compersion. Oxygenating the body, rising the arms, chanting out a four syllable word. I just notice what it's like to sit in the body. Something change? Did something tense up? Did something soften? Did somewhere in the body get some oxygen? Okay. We're going to do this next seated twist. If you need to bring your legs out in front of you or step your right foot down and bring your left heel underneath. Some people sit up a little taller. Some will sit down upon the ground. We're just going to hug that knee in and possibly crisscross it over to the side with a deep, deep hug. Any version of setting up the spine so we can twist to the right, allowing our fingertips on the right side to hold us here. Okay, so send wherever you're feeling tightness, loving kindness. It's related to compersion. That if this is the full extent of your twist, that's how it shall be. In the days where I would teach in-person yoga classes with a group full of people, I'd see people looking around. They're doing it that way. They're doing it that way. He's doing it that way. They're doing it that way. She's doing it that way. There'd be all these ways that I'd watch and just notice when people comparatively say, what's my body doing? So that's the work here in this last 3 breaths of the twist is what is possible in my body here. Compersion. 2 more breaths. Lift up tall, deep in the twist. Compersion. We're going to unwind the spine. Just take a brief moment to go to the second side in that counter twist. And I won't be laying my head back down. I've got a lot of sweet appreciation that Sibo loves the pillow. Unwind slowly. You're going to unstack the legs and just take a moment to hug yourself and possibly hug into a little warming, floating, feet off the ground and maybe blossom out into a boat pose. What you're able to do here is the important part. Feet stay on the ground, feet lift, arms are out or arms are close in, and hold it for 3. Just to add that purring sound. 2. And 1. You're going to land the feet down. Hug the underside of those knees. Oh. And we're going to take our right foot, tuck it underneath. Our left foot stays flat on the ground, possibly bringing it over to the right thigh. Hug with the left arm, tall spine. Twist with the left. Up with the top of the head. Looking over and past the left shoulder. Is it a purr? Is it a soft bumblebee om? 3 more. Mm. 2. And last one. And unwind, tall spine, counter stretch to the right. That's the way. And then as you unwind, take yourself back into that seated boat pose. And you're either going to just hug, round back is fine, or tall spine. And this time the feet are going to stay on the ground. Send loving kindness into the core and hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and go back into a hug. Notice the quads might need a little lengthening out. We're going to do one more row, row, row your boat moment so that we can remind ourselves that the flow of life is going to constantly bring us a challenge here or a resting spot there. Just go with the flow of your next boat pose. And if you want to sing along with me, you can. You're going to step your feet down. You might just go back into floating the arms and keeping your anchors, your feet down, or you're going to lift the feet up. Excellent. You're going to either sing along with row, row, row your boat or just count with me. You're going to open the arms, kick the heels forward, and exhale. Try to touch the hands underneath. There it is. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you didn't do any of those and you're here and you composed your way into saying, I did what I could do, let's all greet the body with a well-deserved hug. The late Dr. Edward Everett Hale said these words, that I am one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, and I can do some things. So I shall not let what I cannot do get in the way with what I can do. I think that's the essence of the lesson here today. We're going to take ourselves, be super kind to the knees, right? Go ahead and switch around. We'll do a tabletop for just a moment. Most of us aren't even going to do a downward facing dog, but we're going to do one puppy dog stretch, which is hands forward, and take your heart down. This is a pose I often encourage people to do, and if you can't do it kneeling, you could always do it standing, letting your hands be up on a shelf, up on a piece of furniture, and you just fold. Right? That's the same essence here. You're going to allow a couple breaths in that heart opener, because physiologically, when we're feeling stressed or we're feeling that we have to protect our heart, these shoulders roll forward. So bringing any practice that brings them into an openness, and this gets our arms, shoulders, lats a deeper stretch. Go for 5. Purr it out. Purr. 4. 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. So if anyone has knee issues and kneeling like I'm demonstrating does not work for you, you can do the same version standing. If I stand, you're going to, my head's going to disappear for a moment, but you could stand and do the same little gentle back stretch here, right? So I'm going to give you a little bit of time to set up into camel. If your feet are okay with stretching out, that's great. If they need cushion, some people will cushion between the hamstrings and calves. Other people might even cushion the underside of their feet. We're going to lift up, find the version that works for you. Hold the lower back, root down. Let the heels of the hands touch your adrenals and kidneys. Let the elbows point back. So already you're blossoming the heart. And then allow your chin to lift and bow back. As I enter my mid-late 50s, I find myself, my back bends look and feel very different when I first started teaching yoga in my 30s. And I'm going to say, I am so loving my lower back because I don't have back pain even if I don't have the same mobility I had in my 30s. No matter what age you are, tuning in here, you might notice, is this a really juicy back bend? Is there some ouchiness? All this is internal conversation for you to bring the utmost compersion for your present day body. It is doing what it can do. And if you bring compersion into your movement practices, you will have a more loving relationship with what your body is capable of doing. You're going to tuck the chin, come on out slowly. If you're standing, you can stand or lean against the wall. If you're able to kneel, come back and sit. Now, the invitation in a compersion-based yoga practice is to say, was one back bend enough? If so, you're going to come back to the ground and wait, right? If you want one more back bend, you can repeat the earlier one, or you can go a little deeper. Now, in this case, I will demonstrate with a bolster, or you might have a thick pillow that you place between your feet. You could also take a blanket and rest it where the head is. And I would say, this is when I look around a crowded classroom, whether I'm a student or a teacher, I look around and go, I wish my back could do that. I wish my hip flexors could stretch like that. And then I say, this is what my body can do. I can do some things. I can't do everything. And this is the back bend I can do. That is internalized compersion. You're going to set up your back bend, scoot your prop as you may need it, lower back if you feel some strain in the knees, in the hips, in the shoulders, or in the lower back. You're probably going too far and you want to set up a gentler version. If you notice the knees splaying up and out, you're probably overextending the hip flexors or the lower back. Whatever you're in, a standing sequence or this recline sequence, we're just going to settle in. When you are finished with your back bend, come down to your back, the back, lay back like we started, and hug your knees up to your chest. And this could be a place where you fall asleep dreaming of compersion, just for the sake of anyone that's waiting for the final sequence on their backs. Those of us that are comfortable here, we may decide to skip this next thing that I'm instructing and stay right where you are. The choose your own adventure moment. Choose the path of compersion. When you do come out of a deeper back bend, try to come out evenly. Press into the hands, tuck the chin, press into the forearms, and come on up. Sit for a moment, coming up even that slowly, meaning that the body needs to re-regulate the blood pressure. When you're ready, you're going to flip over and join everyone else who's waited patiently down on their backs. Have the bolster handy, but make sure you take time to hug the knees into the chest. And the squeeze of the knees and the circle of the knees. We're just going to take one round of twists. You're going to let the knees flow over. I'm going to say a right side this time, but if you're a lefty and you prefer left, it's really okay. Make sure the left shoulder stays down. Your head is looking high. You might even turn your head to the left. There are so many ways to nurture our digestive system. Open up the chest channel, keeping our body in this compersion state. When something feels yummy, breathe deeper into it. When something feels like a strain, come out slowly. Take a nice deep breath in. Compersion. 3 more. Deep breath in. I'm doing what I can do. Compersion. Other people might be doing something different right now. That's my JOMO, joy of missing out. Now, the longer you stay in a twist, the more you might assist the knees coming up to center. Recenter the body. Check in for a moment. You may notice the mind or the body wanting to get to the next place. What's it like just to take a gentle, self-affirming breath in and celebrate who you are, what you are. And as you feel ready, you're going to let those knees topple off to the left side. Let that right shoulder open up. Finding that twist. The left hand might support the right knee, or just make sure, especially the right shoulder doesn't pop off the ground. In through the nose and let it go. How is it to be in this moment, here and now? We may even notice us comparing sides. One side felt tighter, the other feels looser. One side is tender, the other side is limber. Compersion. Take another deep breath in. Let it go. Unwind as slowly as one can. Hug the knees into the chest. And then if you'd like, you're going to bring the bolster or blanket or pillow underneath the knees again and set up for a short sound bath. If that earlier introductory tense and release, squeeze and let go worked for you, this time rather than add words or narrative, just say, I am breathing in and I am letting go. Sometimes I hold on, and sometimes I let go. And let the words fade away as you just follow your breath. And I invite you to continue pulsing and relaxing until you no longer pulse or relax. Here we go. This is for anyone and everyone that practices breathing, practices moving, practices thinking a new thought, practice letting go of an old thought. You are able to stay in your resting pose for a little while longer. I welcome you to do just that as we wind down this compersion-based, yoga-inspired mind, body, spirit practice. I greet you with just 3 of those breaths. We learn to hold on, so that's how we engage the hands or squint the eyes, and we learn to let go. That's when we relax all those muscles. We learn to hold on, and we practice letting go. We learn to hold on, and we gradually learn how to let go. If you are slowly coming into an upright position, I encourage you to look away from a pixelated screen and check out something, anything in your immediate environment. How do you relate to the sun? How do you relate to the objects in the room? And how do you allow this inner experience to now connect with the outer world? There will be ample experiences and opportunities to test run compersion. It is not just a state of the heart that sticks once you know the word. It is something that you tend to, like part of your kinder garden. My name is Ken Breniman. I love bringing you short yoga practices into your home space. If you like what I have to offer, from books to songs to yoga practices, subscribe, share with others, let me know what else you'd like to have offered to you. This is our corner of a kinder garden, and we can grow it little by little, breath by breath, book by book, connection by connection. Thank you so much for joining. It is an honor. Till next time. Bye-bye.